Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today I want to build up and play around with my Crystal, because I feel like she is a character that's recommended for a lot of newer players, new-ish, and even though the special missions are gone, so you can't get her through that method, you have to spare tokens for her, she's still pretty good, and she has a very good uniform that not only buffs her, but gives her access to Fantastic Four buffs, so you can use things passive to buff her up as a support character. You can also use Mr. Fantastic's leadership. Hopefully they will do more of this in the future as well. I've said several times in many videos that I love these sort of tagged abilities where specific groups or factions of characters, and I love the fact that there are specific leaderships and specific passives that only apply to those factions. I think Marvel Future Fight needs to do more to make characters specific to factions. They did it a little bit with the Sinister Six and Electro, but they need to lean into it a lot more heavily. So let's just take a look at my Crystal build right now. I haven't built her up prior to this video, so she is wherever I left her about a year ago, because a year ago is when I purchased this uniform. It looks cute, and it does give her a few buffs, and it's at Legendary. I think I maxed it out to Legendary because it's an optional uniform, but I'm actually not 100% sure. Now, the uniform effect is not very good. It's the skill changes that you want. It gives her 6 skill changes. Maybe not 6 skill changes. Maybe 4 skill changes because the other uniform. We've got attack speed, energy attack, ignore defense, dodge. That seems okay. Let's take a look at her details page. Okay, we're overcapped on cooldown by 7%, and we are undercapped. We're 6% missing on ignore defense. The attack speed's a little, it's 121, it's not bad. The crit rate and the crit damage, and then we've got 46% dodge. So we actually have a lot of dodge. Her 4th gear is ignore defense as well, so we can bump that up past 20, but we have to, first of all, get her to level 70, and then we also have to possibly replace her obelisk. We actually have a lot of work to do. This crit damage, cold damage, 110 proc. It's a 110 proc. You probably haven't seen that in a long time. I know. It's okay. This is like a decent sort of obelisk for newer players. If you get something like this, you could give this to, if you don't give it someone like Luna, you could give it someone like Crystal. She might be the 2nd best cold damage character in the game. If you don't have Iceman, you probably don't have Iceman. But yeah, let's get cracking and fast forward through some of these level ups. And oh, we already have this done. Okay, so we can just use Phantom X Vials here, and let's get her to level 70, and let's clean up the ignore defense. I know what I need to do. I took a peek at the character before. She has Hawk's Eye ISO 8 set, so that's why I'm 7% overcapped on cooldown, but I'm 7% or 6% undercapped on ignore defense. So that's 7% from cooldown. We don't need that. So we're going to drop the gold. We're going to hopefully not spend too much gold. We're at 340 million, so we can afford it. And let's see how long it takes us to get this either Power of Angry Hulk or Overdrive. I would prefer Power of Angry Hulk, but Overdrive is fine.
Spy tactics twice. Smart raccoon. Okay, we're getting a lot of 8 sets. It's so funny. I'm getting a lot of 8 sets though. I got like 4 or 5 8 sets in my first like 10 rolls, which is insane. Sometimes you don't see an 8 set for 20 or 40 rolls consecutively. So that was a lot of 8 sets. But yeah, the only one that was possibly useful was Hawk's Eye, but we had Hawk's Eye. We don't need Hawk's Eye again. Yeah, this is what it's gonna be. All we do is gamble, 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 no matter what. Got crystals on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time they change the CTP chance up, I go nuts. And I spend cash, and I throw cash. Stack ass, stack ass, stack cash. Cause all I do is gamble for CTPs. DJ Khaled, please don't copyright strike the song, man. Yeah, right. I'm yawning because this is just like boring as hell. I don't know why they did this. They think this is fun for players to do, I guess. I don't know, this is a big waste of time. Marvel Future Fight really...
There we go. Finally, we get something. That was only... Well, it's not bad. It's 4 million gold. It really wasn't that
bad, but now we need to get rid of this HP ISO 8, and we need to slap on another ISO 8. So we're gonna go with, you know what, this all attack, all defense is just fine. We're not going for the #1 crystal in the game. So we got a stage 5 Power of Angry Hulk. We get 7% ignore defense. We get 7% attack speed. So now taking a look at it, this looks much better. We're just slightly overcapped on ignore defense. We're basically capped on cooldown. We've got 127% attack speed. This is looking much, much better. Now let's go ahead and get her to level 70.
So this is gonna hurt. That's 800 of that. Let's do that. We don't want to waste gold. We want to, yeah, just do that. There. Now this is one. It's 1,600. How many Cosmic Cube Fragments is it? 300 Cosmic Cube Fragments. Tempted to use the Cosmic Cube Fragments. No lie. You know what? Let's do the full amount. And then we'll use, not Clea Bios, rather. Cyclops Bios. Nice. And then for this last one, it's 2,000. That's a little bit too much. So for this one, we're going to gamble. Hopefully it's less than 10. Because we don't want to lose gold. Okay. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. I don't feel good about this. 6.
There we go, 7. Awesome. So it would have cost me 4 million gold. I spent 440,000 multiplied by 7. So I spent 3 million. So I saved 1 million gold, and I saved like over 1,000 black antimatter. That was a big savings. Now let's level her up. Of course, we'll use Beast's Biles because he's terrible. There we go. Royal Protector. We've got it unlocked. We get those 60 crystals. Nice, nice, nice. Let's go back now and let's level up some of her gears here. Let's see how much this costs us. 13. Okay. It's a little bit expensive. We got to save materials for hopefully, possibly tier 3 Apocalypse. 9. Okay. Not bad. We're going to leave that at 22 there. We want to go and see... Cool. Okay, this has cooldown, so we actually do want to bump this one up a little bit. It's not going to give us too much cooldown, but we want to bump this one up to 22 as well. A little bit of survivability with the all defense, but we actually only get about 30 skill cooldown points. That's really not going to do us any good. This is nice though, so we bump this one up. Not that we need the extra ignore defense. We're actually going to be over capped on ignore defense now. By quite a bit. I think we're going to be like 4 or 5% capped on overcapped. So let's take a look at her details page. Okay, 2%. That's not that bad. So yeah, we're basically capped now. We got the crit rate and the crit damage. We might give her a CTP of energy at the end of the day, so I don't want to give her too many more crit damage Uru. But I think with this setup, we are good to go. We just need to give her... You know what? Let's just upgrade these Uru to 4 stars. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, uh-huh. This takes so long. I like the animation, though. Okay, there we go. We've upgraded that, and now we're going to slap on... Does she have any crit rate buffs? I don't think she does. She doesn't have any self buffs. Yeah, she doesn't have any self buffs. So we're going to go ahead and give her some 4-star crit rate. There's 1. I do 1 at a time when I'm equipping these secondary Uru, because if I want to change it in the future, doing 2 and 2 is worse. So what I'm trying to say is that if I give her 1 crit rate on each of the 4 gears, I'm spreading it out so that even if I change my mind in the future and I want to take some of them off, I still have amplified slots. But if I put, let's say I put 2 crit rate here and 2 crit rate here, and then I had nothing here and here, and then I suddenly wanted to give her a lot of something else, I would probably have to go back and get rid of them because they're covering up most of the slots on 2 specific gears. But by spreading them out one on each, that gives me more flexibility for that last amplified slot on all 4, because I only rolled for 4 amplified slots anyways. 42% crit rate, 158 crit damage is a little low, but let's say we get an extra 30% crit damage if we got a CTP of... Oh, you know what though? She already has crit damage, 22%, so that's not going to go much higher. So you know what? She does need crit damage. Okay, I was wrong. She does need a little bit of crit damage, so let's go ahead and give her 1... Let's give her 2 4-star crit damage. And now let's see where we're at. 162 and 42. That's pretty good. Her 4th gear we can roll to crit her, like her last option. If we get her uniform to Mythic with Ant-Man and the Wasp, it's Mythic as well. We could get that to, we could roll that to crit rate. We just don't have the... Oh, you know what? We could actually do it. No, you know what? Let's leave it at legendary. Let's jump into some action and see what my now rank 1500 Crystal can do. First up, we're going to try Crystal against the stage 42 entry mode. We're going to see if she can solo the first stage or the first half of the fight versus the Hawkeye, Iron Man, Captain America combo. I like to open up her rotation with either 3 or 5 for Shadowland, specifically because it provides defensive abilities. I know it doesn't hit the proc necessarily on the best skill, but For Shadowland, a lot of times you gotta worry about survival, but this I wanted to showcase because you're not gonna see this in World Boss, but in Shadowland she's amazing because she provides, so, like, look at the bar, look next to Hawkeye's name, there's so many debuffs right now, and I'm only basically using 2 skills. She completely shuts down stages. I was using her before to just quickly go through a stage 28 or 29 of Shadowland, which is that Black Order stage. But I really think that Crystal is underrated. I mean, she's amazing for Shadowland, and she can definitely go, as, you know, probably as high as you can go in Shadowland. She can go because she provides all defense down. She provides all resistance down. All of this stuff applies to Shadowland where it doesn't apply anywhere else. And so because of that, she does massive damage, and she can just shut down stages with just 1 or 2 skills. She's absolutely fantastic, and the skills look beautiful a la Avatar. Okay, here we go. We're going up against Jaundiced Stage 60 Ebony Maw. They still have not fixed, they still have not color corrected the world bosses, so they still look all weird. We're going with her leadership and double support. We, of course, got Ghost Panther for the fire damage that she does, I believe, on her 2 skill. Honestly, I think the cold damage buffs are a lot better for Crystal than the fire damage buffs. I also think that it's possible to give her an obelisk or like a CTP of Transcendence or Patience, because maybe just buffing up her attack stat, because I think she just does decent damage but nothing crazy on any of her skills. Maybe 5 has the most damage, but I think it can be hard sometimes to proc specifically on 5. Well, you can see there it's doing some work. I didn't want to bring in too many strikers because I don't want this to be the striker show. So I brought along, of course, Weapon Hex for the all defense down, and then we brought along Rachel Summers. Now, currently, there isn't any characters that deal cold resistance down to the bosses with their striker ability. And there isn't anyone for fire damage either, I believe. There's no one that deals fire resistance down, but maybe in the future there will be. We have Electro for Thor and other lightning-type characters, and then we have Psylocke for mind damage, or mind resistance down. But we don't have anyone currently for the elemental types that that Crystal is best at. So, I mean, she's able to do this with 2 strikers, 2 supports, and a really bad 160 proc. I mean, maybe it's a bit slow on the damage. It's a little bit low, but you got to remember we got a 110 proc. I think she would do a lot better because I think the chain hit damage with the CTP of energy would do a lot of work for her. But this is basically, you know, just weapon hex and 1 striker. So this is not abusing the striker the striker list for, you know, massive damage boosts. This is mostly her raw damage, which doesn't seem to be enough. I don't think this damage is enough for stage 60, but I think it's not that far off. So if you got a free-to-play build on Crystal, you could probably go maybe 10 stages lower than me, given like having worse cards. But you know, you have to have some decent cards. You can't have, you know, you can't have zero skill cooldown cards here, guys. We're talking Dark Souls cards. She is taking damage, so you probably do want to bring along someone like Anti-Venom. And keep in mind that with her 3rd skill, I'm not doing a very good job of proccing, which is why, like, maybe if you wanted to splash for Crystal, I think Rage might be really good. But keep in mind that with her 3rd skill, you can see that I'm moving around. So that would be actually really good for Anti-Venom because you could move around and collect the heal circles, the heal blobs, and then go back. Let's slap on 5 strikers now and see if she can do this with more help. Okay, we brought along a few more strikers here. We got Anti-Venom, Dr. Doom for more all defense down, and then Luna Snow just for damage. Let's see how she does. Because she's always in iframe with some of her abilities, I think 2 and 5 are iframes. You might not need to give her, yeah, see the strike, just adding a couple strikers skews the damage so much, because Luna Snow tier 3 does a lot of damage, right? So she comes in after the weapon hex buffs, and she starts hitting him for like so much damage. He seems to be out of mind control more often now, though. I don't know why. But because of the iframes on 2 and 5, you might not need to give her guard break immunity. But you might find that you're getting guard broken a lot if you don't have a striker like Scarlet Witch or Rachel Summers or like Apocalypse or something like that for mind control. If you don't have any mind control strikers and you want to play with Crystal, then I definitely recommend giving her guard break immunity. She's going to get guard broken on 4. She's going to get guard broken on 3. But yeah, 3, 5, and 4 seem to do good damage. And then 1 and 2 seem to be like just whatever. She's not tanky, but she's not super soft anyway. She's got 37,000 HP, which is honestly not that bad. That's the proc on 5. Not super impressed there, but we didn't have any striker buffs. There's 3. We're going to pop the 5 again there. There's the 4. I don't really think any of Crystal's skills stand out to me as having like super high damage. They're probably definitely on the lower end in general to make up for the fact that she has like all resistance down, which would make her damage spike a lot in things like Shadowland, where you can actually apply those debuffs. But if we ever get a character that can reliably add cold resistance down as a striker ability, like let's say if Luna Snow, she doesn't, she uses her 3rd skill, but let's say if Luna Snow used her 4th skill as a striker, that would give Crystal a lot of extra bonus damage, because I believe she has cold damage on 4 and 3. 3 looks more like an ice skill, and 4 looks more like a water skill, but I think they're both typed as ice damage. So she can definitely do this now. It's going to be a grind fest, but yeah, with the free-to-play Obelisk, my phone is heating up, by the way. The heating issues have not gone away. But with a free-to-play build, for the most part, and a legendary uniform, which is pretty much the most expensive part of this build, with pretty good strikers, but not the highest end of strikers. Like, there's no Negasonic here, there's no, you know, Slapstick or anything like that. We've got a stage 55, 60 down. That's pretty good, I think. And I want to see how far she can go with a full build. I'm just questioning whether to give her a CTP of Energy or a CTP of Rage. If I had one, I might even try a CTP of Judgment. I think that would be super cute. For her specifically, because I don't think it's like an OP Obelisk, but I think it would just thematically suit her really well, and that's something that I like about certain CTPs, like Energy on Gambit, I think is a really, you know, thematically fitting Obelisk, or CTP, whatever, custom gear for the character. So yeah, let me know what you guys think as far as CTPs go. Should I go with Transcendence or Patience, or should I go Big Boy Rage, or should I go Energy, or should I wait for a Judgment? What do you guys think? Let me know. Hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know also what you think of Crystal. Do you like the character? Do you play with her? Are you encouraged to play with her now that you've seen her in action, or do you think she's just kind of like Shadowland only? Although I do think she's very good for Shadowland. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.